Very cool. So you text me, hey, can we use AI to build a pro forma? And I thought about it and I was gonna work on it, but honestly, that is not gonna be the best use of AI at the moment. In the future, I think it'll get there, but it's almost better to do it in Excel at this moment in time. So I thought, well, what is the ultimate goal here? It is to be able to quickly find a property and analyze it and see if it's going to work out or not. I mean, that's the end goal. And so then my mind went to, like, how would I actually do this today if I had to make money from it today? And what I came up with was, if I could scrape Zillow all the time, almost continuously, and see if a property shows up that hits my criteria of saying, okay, what does Zillow have? Zillow has a price, it has rent, it has dollar per square foot, things like this. And if I could use that information to filter out the hundreds that get listed every day to just show me the one, then that could actually be done very quickly and easily. And then we could do something like that. So I'll show you how to do this. Should take you all of 5 minutes to make this happen.
This is more of a lead generation, type of strategy versus like, it's not necessarily going to analyze the deal for you and, tell you if it's a good deal, a bad deal, or whatever, or what kind of profit. This is just more of being able to, instead of having a VA or yourself sitting there monitoring and managing Zillow all day, you're basically having the AI go out there and do it for you.
Yeah, and essentially filter to your set performance. So let's say
Okay.
it used to be the 2% rule, then the 1%, then I don't even know what it is now, but saying, okay, if it's $100,000 house and it rents out for $1,000 a month, that used to be like a rule, the 1% rule of you knew is a good deal. So I'm saying the same thing, where if you know what a good deal is, let's say it's a $500,000 house and it rents for $2,000, so whatever percent that is, then if anything hits that criteria of saying a 0.3% or whatever that criteria is that you've set up beforehand, it could constantly look at Zillow every day, see if any properties show up that have a $500,000 and a whatever 2,000 rent, or that ratio or better, and deliver those properties to you.
I just got off the phone with a guy, developer in Sacramento area, that is 25% return. That's what he's looking for. Another guy, actually, Jay Connor, who I interviewed on a podcast a while back, he tries to buy properties at 50 to 65% of ARV. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have these simple things, 65% of ARV, whatever it is, that you could say, okay, search Zillow every day and pull out properties that are, say, 65% or less of what the standard dollar per square foot is in that market.
So or the highest dollar per foot or whatever.
Yeah, but let's say this zip code is $700 a square foot.
Okay.
And all of a sudden a property shows up that's $600 per square foot. Okay, boom, this is a property that you want to look at.
Okay.
So it's almost like I said, okay, imagine you already know what your criteria is to fit your pro forma. Sorry, so this is how we got there, but let's pretend you already know what your criteria is. Now let's go and find those properties every day in Zillow, but you don't need to do the math. It'll automatically do the math for you, whatever that math is. Say, find everything within 15% of, or in my example, it was, here's my home price, here's the rent price. If anything fits in this criteria, I want to see it.
Right. Which actually is a good way to look at it, because most guys are very quick at analyzing a deal. It's either, napkin, or they got the little, Excel pro forma. They put a few numbers in and they kind of know. It's the front end of that. It's like, it's, looking at the property, the area, the neighborhood, all that. It's doing that front end work that makes that, I guess, final analysis with the numbers pretty easy. So what you're talking about, I think, would help a lot.
Cool. So yeah, let's get into it. So for this, you need two things. It'll cost you a total of $20 a month. So the first is you need OpenAI Pro account. So that's $20 a month. And then the next thing that you need is you need a Appify account. And I know we've talked about Appify before. You can go ahead and sign up for a free account to start, and it's pay by usage. So just sign up for an Appify account. Then what you're going to do is once you're in Appify, you are going to go into the store right here. And there's all sorts of stuff. And there's a million things that we could look for on the web to find good deals. So if you have your favorite for sale by owner sites, or if you, whatever it might be, I chose Zillow just because it's easy, but you could do Redfin or realtor.com, whatever. So you're going to search for in the store for somebody who has already built the program, because we don't want to start from scratch. So here's a guy that has built a program to extract the data about properties for sale and rent on Zillow. Perfect. So this is exactly what we want. So we're going to click on this. And as you can see, it does cost a little bit of money, but it's $2 for every 1,000 results. So not a big deal, especially for filtering it. We're probably only going to see 1,000 results, a week or whatever. But
right.
Anyways, once you're in here, you're going to come over here to the API, and you're going to say Open API specifications. And this is the code we need. So that's the beauty of all of this. There's no coding involved. You're literally copying somebody else's code and using this on the back end. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go over to OpenAI ChatGPT. We're going to go to explore GPTs, and we're going to create our own. When we're in creating our own, we go to configure, and this is where we put this code in. So we down here where it says actions, we're going to say create new actions, and we're going to put that code right in there. So I just pasted it in the schema here. Appify has created this for this purpose. Like, this is what it's made for. There's a million things you could use this for. So if you've ever gone on to ChatGPT and you've tried, say, searching the web for something, it doesn't let you search. Well, there's tons, and I don't want to get too distracted here, but if you go to the store, if you type in GPT, there's a GPT scraper here. There's all sorts of stuff to get anything you want from anywhere on the web. So it's pretty awesome.
Maybe just going back, I know you've explained this before. What's the difference between Appify and OpenAI and ChatGPT?
Sure. So Appify is a web scraper. That's all it is. So Appify's job is to see data that's displayed on the web and extract that data from the web. And ChatGPT, on the other hand, is a AI, essentially, that allows you to ask questions and get answers, but it cannot view the web. It dates back to, I don't know the exact, I think it's June 2021 or something. So you're only getting data up to that. If you want to search the web and get live data, you need to use a GPT. And there are plenty of GPTs that people have already built for specific use cases. I'm showing you how to build your own GPT.
I have OpenAI telling me, or ChatGPT telling me all the time, I can't search the web.
Yeah. So now, but you can, and this is how. This is a more advanced way because we're trying to get specific data from Zillow. But if you just want to just say search something else, I'll show you plenty of GPTs that exist to do that.
Okay.
So one other thing we need from Appify is we need my API key. So you're going to go here to settings, and I thought it was in settings. Maybe it's not. There you go, integrations. And then you're going to grab this personal API token, and you just want to copy that. We're going to go back to our GPT that we're creating. Under authentication, we're going to put in this API key. We're going to paste it and make sure you hit error and save. And that's it. I don't know if it's required or not, but I read that you should include the privacy policy down here. So I'm just going to paste that link in here. And that is it.
Where'd you get the privacy policy?
I just went to Appify's website and grabbed their
Oh,
privacy policy.
okay. And you just copy and pasted the link.
The link, yeah.
Okay. And then back to the API key. What is that for?
That is because the API key is my personal key from Appify. And so basically now, anytime I use Appify from ChatGPT knows whose Appify account to use. It's essentially your login information. So with that personal API key, the reason it's hidden is because essentially it's my backend login information. That's all it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's it. Now that's it. So I can go back and now I can configure it all here, or I can just tell it what I'm. So the difference is under here, configure. This is if you want to do it manually, or you can have the GPT help you build the GPT. So I'll do that. So I want users to be able to search, could say city, zip codes, whatever, search a zip code, and it returned available properties. And then here, this is where I was talking about the whatever your personal preferences are. So if I wanted to say only show, where home prices divided by the rent is a certain ratio, whatever it is, your criteria, I'll keep it super simple for right now. Zip code, then return available properties that were listed a maximum of 7 days ago. Horrible English, but you get the idea. Ask the user for the zip code and max price. I'm just making stuff up. So it's going to go through, we're going to go back here it's turning this into a prompt. So we'll see in a second that it's taken my horrible English and turn this into, what do you want to call this? It really doesn't matter. Yes. It's going to create an image. And this is just so that if I ever publish this to the world knows what it is. Before we're done, it's going to ask, do you want to make this public to the world? Do you want to make it private to you? Do you want to be able to share it with other people? And because this is using my personal API key, I'll probably make it private, but this could be a potentially incredible lucrative business. So maybe you make it public and eat that cost of $2 per 1,000 results, because some good stuff's going to come out of this.
And then can you continue to give it data, give it requests, ask it questions, and it'll just keep iterating basically? Oh,
I guess I've used ChatGPT 4 too much today. So I guess that's going to end this demo. We use it a lot on the back end, so I'm guessing that's what's going on right now.
Wow, I didn't know that was the case. That even was a possibility.
Yeah, we use it quite heavily. I should have a different demo account versus.
Well, now we have to go back and finish this one, I guess.
Yeah, so next week you're gonna see the results, I guess. 557. Yeah, it's not for a while, but you'll see what will happen after this. It's done at this point. If we looked at configure, it's written that. So at this point, if I wanted to actually run this, I could. I don't think it's gonna let me, but show me properties in 68111 under 200K. Yeah, and so, but with that prompt, the results would then show up, and I would literally get, if I go over to Zillow, it would show me all of this data.
And how does it, what's it deliver back to you? Is it a list or a map or?
Yeah, so I actually pulled it up. So this is all the data it has. So it's literally scraping.
Wow.
Zillow. So it has all this information. So this is where you would get into the details of what you actually want to see, what calculations you want done. But on the back end, it has all of this data. So it has obviously the address, city, zip, all the photos. You could have it analyze the photos. You could literally say, analyze each photo that you get back and determine if XYZ. So it's really limitless what you could do.
And would you give it examples? I think we've talked about this before. Would you give ChatGPT tall grass, rundown looking houses?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use it for that. This would be a horrible case
Yeah.
to that type of analysis. I would use this more for, hey, I want to be the first to see if a house is listed on Zillow and hits my criteria, whatever it might be.
And basically any number, any data or criteria on Zillow you can use to have this. So if it's either, it could be a keyword term, it could be a, price per foot, it could be, square footage, it could be anything, zoning.
It can be a calculation. So that's what I was getting at earlier as well. So not only any information, but you can have ChatGPT do the actual calculations based on the data that you're looking at. And
Okay.
it has all the information. So yeah, you can really get creative here.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Josh. That's great.
Yeah, sorry I crashed right in the middle. Well, it didn't crash, but
That's a first.
yeah.
You guys are pounding on OpenAI today.
Yeah, they were doing some fun stuff. We'll
Very
share.
cool.
Yeah,
More to share in the future.
yeah,
Well, thanks for
absolutely.
joining, everybody. You can find this on Optimized Real Estate Podcast YouTube channel. And you can also find it on my website at rod-wilson.com. All these will be posted, and all the prior recordings as well, where we cover a ton of stuff, the web scraping being one of them, more specifically. Check it out there. That's all for this week. See you, Josh.
See you, man.